the NFL.
Well. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson on Championship Sunday NFL Primetime. And we waited 3 weekends for nail biters and edge of seats and heart palpitations. I think we got it.
Wild ride.
Wild
comes to mind.
Wild ride. And forget the greatest weekend in football. It was a pretty darn interesting Sunday in the National Football League. Well, you know the storylines. The New Orleans Saints had never, ever, A, hosted a championship game, B, in their history, they've been around since 1967, ever made the Super Bowl. Brett Favre, 40 years young, one last Napoleonic drive with the Minnesota Vikings for a chance to rewrite history once again. He grew up 60 miles from New Orleans, where the game was being played, rooting for the Saints as a kid. And oh, by the way, you think it was loud? You think they were ready? An evening in New Orleans? Here we go from the Superdome. For the NFC Championship game, we thought it would be a barn burner. It was, and not always the way that you thought. Brett Favre, Drew Brees, the highest scoring teams at football. Brett Favre, Jim Kleinsasser, opening drive. They come out throwing. They don't run it, Tom. 12 yards, first down. Favre, Adrian Peterson, and he turns it up nicely. 11 yards, first down. 5 different receivers found by Favre. Opening drive. Finishes with AP. And look out! Does he run angry or what? 19 yards, 7-0 fight.
Great burst at the line of scrimmage, gets the ball, makes that nice cut right there, and then beeline into the end zone.
So opening drive, 10 plays, 80 yards. Brees and the Saints come right back, 3rd and 5. A screen to Robert Meacham. 7 yards, that's the New Orleans Saints. First down. Later in the drive, Brees. Here come the Vikes, but a beautifully set up screen pass. Pierre Thomas, Sacre Bleu. It's a touchdown, 38 yards. Sweet.
Yeah, great play design right there. You see Pierre Thomas block, gets a great pass from Brees, nice cut back into the middle of the field. Touchdown, Saints.
At this point, game on. Vikings 80-yard drive. Saints 7 play 71-yard drive. Brett Favre. Oh, yeah? I'll see that 5 and raise your 5. Quick pass to Bernard. Bury it. Great skin. Great spin. 15 yards. Next play. Favre. Percy Harvin on an end around. Coming out of the backfield, but hemmed up. Only picks up a couple yards. However, Bobby McCray nailed Favre with a flag.
Yeah, he saw Favre come around after the handoff, and he gave him a whack, one of many Favre took on the day.
Later in the drive, 3rd and 7, Favre, Percy Harvin, 20 yards, first down inside the 10. However, boy, were they coming. Here's his ex-teammate and good friend, Darren Sharper.
Yeah, and this was all day long, even the referee trying to help Favre out.
But 3 plays later, 3rd and goal, Favre, zing, Sidney Rice, touchdown. So here come the Vikes. They're up 14-7.
Well, Favre does so much with his arm and the pump fake, moving people around and opening up receivers. He throws them open as he does right there.
Okay, so I'll see that 10 and raise you 10, says Drew Brees. Reggie Bush, nice seam pattern across the middle. 28 yards, that's a first down. Later in the drive, 1st and goal. Brees with a play action. And Devery Henderson in the end zone, touchdown, 9 yards. We are tied at 14.
And Henderson one-on-one with Benny Sapp, and watch him just keep working for his quarterback. Supposed to go inside on the route, breaks back to the back corner of the end zone. Brees finds it.
End of each half will come back to haunt the Vikings. Reggie Bush muffs a punt. Vikings fall on the ball. Bush never had possession, and they're inside the 10. First turnover postseason. Saints be the only one that would have, but then what happens after that? A simple Favre handoff to Adrian Peterson that never gets executed. Scott sizzling Fujita falls on the ball and saves the day, Saints.
And you can see Favre reaching for AP right there, and looks like he just never actually gets him the football.
So the game tied 14 all at half. Minnesota had a chance to take the lead. Opening kickoff, second half. Courtney Roby. He disrobes a lot of the Vikings here. Takes it outside, and he is in a Minnesota territory. 61-yard return to open up second half. Saints haven't led yet until 1st and goal. Pierre Thomas. And whoa, was he down? Well, we'll never know. Saints up 21-14. Then Peterson hits a fumble. How can this happen? But the Vikings do catch a break. They fall on the ball. But AP to the sidelines, clearly fumbleitis. Later in the drive, 3rd and 2. Favre, play action. Asante Shanko, he had a huge day. One-handed grab, 1st and goal at the 121 yard.
Yeah, and you can see he's being held there, but he's still great concentration on the football. Bring it down for an opportunity to score.
Now, hold on, Adrian. Yeah, he does. Touchdown, tied at 21. So both teams went bang, 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 bang. And then quieter scoring second quarter. Now bang, bang here in the 3rd. You kidding? It's a fumble by Peterson again, but he follows his own fumble. Roman Harper made the strip.
Yeah, and you can see right here, I mean, I can't imagine the panic for Adrian Peterson as he goes to get that football.
Later in the drive, 3rd and 5. Favre, shotgun, incomplete, but there's a flag on Anthony Hargrove.
Yeah, because he lifted and drove the quarterback into the ground. That is a good call by the officials, but you can see Favre was feeling those hits.
Later in the drive, Favre nailed and picked off by Vilma. Jonathan Vilma with the pick, and Favre in serious pain, taken low by McCrary and Adele.
Yeah, and as you watch that hit right there, they have a rule for hitting the quarterback low. You wonder why it wasn't called right there.
And you know what? At this point when you watch, could he even come back? Getting his ankle tape on the sideline. But here he comes, like John Wayne on the Ponderosa. Percy Harvin, and he's stripped by Will Smith. Adele gets on it. How can this happen? Favre involved with trying to fall on the ball. 5 fumbles, Minnesota. They lose it this time. So 3rd and goal, Saints. Breeze, giving a gift to Reggie Bush. They knock him out. No! Watch what Bush does. He's so good with the pylon.
Yeah, very athletic. He turns right here, that goal line stretching to infinity, and you can see he clearly crosses it right there before he steps out of bounds.
So the Saints back up by touchdown 28-21. Adrian Peterson, give me the ball. Just runs down the sideline for a 27-yard gain. 3 plays later, 3rd and 10. Favre. Still hit, but to bury in between 2 defenders. 30 yards, 1st down. Favre. Underneath to Berrien, but look at this, he fumbles, and it's recovered by the Saints. What are they slicking up the balls, Tom?
Well, Tracy Porter, excellent job right there, holding the receiver up, knocking the ball out. Saints scrambling to get it.
And 6 fumbles, Vikes, 3 lost. Remember the name, Tracy Porter. Favre, 3rd and 6 with 7 to go to Shanko, 16 yards, 1st down. Vikes amazingly still in it, despite all the turnovers, just down 7. Favre to the end zone. Incomplete to Bernard Berrien, but wait. Flag on the play, pass interference, Vikings ball at the 1. 2 plays later, Peterson, touchdown. He had 3 in the day, along with the fumbles. We're tied at 28. Minute 39 to go. Vikings, 1st and 10. Brett Favre, how many times have you seen him do it? Oh, man! Sidney Rice, 20 yards across midfield. Vikings, in action. Chester Taylor, 14-yard run to the 33. It would be at this point a 50-yard attempt by Longwell. 19 seconds ago. 3rd and 10. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 men in the huddle. You gotta be kidding. It's a 5-yard penalty. Pushes him back to the 38, which is probably out of field goal range, which forces a pass, which is intercepted. All that happened because maybe too many men on the ice, if you will. Tracy Porter picked at the end of regulation. We go to overtime. And of course, the Saints win the toss. Brett Favre has to watch. 2nd and 10, own 48. Drew Brees to Marcus Colston. Bobbled, almost picked Tyrell Johnson. Incomplete. Vikings almost get it. Next play, 3rd and 10. Drew Brees to Devery Henderson. After a measure, just short of the 1st down. Sean Payton, let's go. We have the highest scoring offense in football. 4th and inches. Pierre Thomas up and over. But, well, we're not going to take a look again, but this another thing we'll discuss. Then, for the Vikings, 42, Breeze over David Thomas's head. Pass interference, was it catchable?
I don't know if it was catchable, and I couldn't tell how much contact there was. The referee had a better look than we had.
After a 4-yard loss, 2nd and 14, Breeze, Robert Meacham, 12-yard gain, down to the 22. Now, in field goal range for all he's done is kick extra points. Garrett Hartley doesn't kick off. John Carney kicked most of the season. Garrett Hartley, 40 yards to put the Saints in the Super Bowl. Good from 60. It's good. Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say they go into the Super Bowl for the first time? The Saints jubilation. Brett Favre, no flag. Brett Favre and the Vikings, almost. And Brett Favre's last game with the Packers, and who knows if last game with the Vikes, championship game, interception or his last pass he throws, team loses, overtime, field goal. The New Orleans Saints are headed to Super Bowl 44 in Miami. Saints 31, Vikings 28 in overtime. After the game, Saints, do you think they were fired up?
It feels amazing. It's the greatest feeling, to have worked all year. It's just an amazing feeling. All the hard work we put into this, and this is the reward we get. There's no better feeling. There's no other place I'd rather be than right here.
What did it feel like on the sideline when they went out to kick that extra point?
Man, I was just praying. I've never prayed so hard in my life that he was gonna make that field goal. But Garrett Hartley showed up. He made it count. Him being a rookie, there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he showed up, and that's what this game's all about.
What do you think it means to the city of New Orleans that you guys are going to the Super Bowl?
I think it may be the single most greatest event that ever happened in New Orleans.
Better question, what's going to happen in New Orleans tonight?
Hopefully they won't destroy this place, but I think it's going to be a party all night.
Hey, congratulations to the New Orleans Saints. It's a franchise that so many years, as you pointed out, the bags over the heads.
Right.
So many years, just not good football. So much hope. We know what's happened in that city. We can't congratulate the Saints enough on what is happening. And it was a strange one in that they're outgained what? By over 200 yards, the Saints. 475 to 257. But boy, did they put the heat on, Tom, on defense.
Yeah.
So they gave up almost 500 yards.
Well, defensively, they gave up a lot of yards, but they made up their mind that they were going to punish Brett Favre and hope that it had an effect on them. And I think it did. When you look at the 18 turnovers that they had in 17 football games, they had 5 today. And it was all about getting after the quarterback and getting after the Minnesota Vikings. Even when Brett Favre was handing the ball off, balls out of his hands, he was taking punishment down high, up high, down low. When you punish the quarterback like that, and I love this, I'm going to borrow this from Rex Ryan. When you hit the quarterback, the whole team feels it. And you could tell that the Minnesota Vikings were feeling those hits on Favre.
But we could dissect this 8 million ways, and there was a lot of stoppages over time, and this isn't complaining. It's just, was it close? Was he, did he not make the first down? Was it a pass? You hate to see it come to those sort of things. But here's one thing that Minnesota can't live down. 6 fumbles, they lost 3, 2 picks. 5 turnovers, and they almost won the game.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I said that they had 18 during the regular season in 17 games. They had 5 today in a championship game. That you cannot win on the road when you put the ball in the other team's hands as many times as they did today.
Unless you get a miracle like Montana to Clark in the 81 title game when the Niners turn it over 6 times and won. But other times, you don't. You turn it over like this, you're not going to survive.
Yeah, and a lot of these were down when they had scoring opportunities. When you drop the ball, when you're getting ready to score, it's like in basketball, they always say, it's a made basket the other way. It's a turnaround of 10 points. It's a turnaround of 14 points. So they were shooting themselves in the foot the entire day, and that went on until even the last drive for the Saints. I mean, you look at that happens inside the 10-yard line.
And then it's almost like having the yips with the punt with Adrian Peterson there for a while, though he ran hard later on, but I mean, he kept fumbling and stuff. And then do you put him in or do you sit him for a couple series? And give the Saints this credit. It's the 14th time in 18 games they forced 2 or more turnovers.
Yes.
This is something that under Greg Williams that they do. Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Brett Favre at the podium in New Orleans.
I don't even know where to begin. All I can say is it's been a great year. Sure, hope we would have gone a little bit further. Great group of guys. Just disappointing. I mean, that's an understatement. Well, after the penalty, we were out of field goal range. I'm not even sure where the exact yardage was that we needed, but play was designed actually to go to Bernard in the flat, man coverage. They checked out of it when we went in motion, and I was actually late to Sydney. Because I probably should have ran it. I don't know how far I could have gotten, but in hindsight, that's probably what I should have done. But I don't know how many yards we needed for a field goal, but I knew we needed some. But it was just late to Sydney. The same play. That's one of those where, noise somewhere within that, those 30, 40, however many seconds, communication was obviously lost. And for the most part, I thought we handled that part of it well. That was not one of them. How did I feel physically? I felt better. It was a physical game. A lot of hits. But you win that, you sure feel a little bit better. But the style of defense that they play, we knew that there would be, or I knew that there would be those type of hits. No, I didn't know. I knew when I got hit, I felt my ankle, which I can't tell you how many times I've twisted my ankle or had it bent one way or the other. That was one of those times where I knew that if I were to come back, I needed to come back right away, because that's one of those, when you sit around for a little bit, I won't be able to move it tomorrow. But it took me a while to kind of get up and just see. Darryl was asking me on the sidelines if I could reach out on some of the run plays and kind of protect myself in the pocket, and I felt like I could. I didn't see the replay. It felt that way, but I have no idea. And of course, didn't see the interception. Still don't know exactly what happened, but not a whole lot different than the one later to Sydney. I was a little late to Sydney on that one, and proved costly. I think that was a communication issue. I mean, it goes without saying how loud it was. And tonight, I don't think we had any false starts. I may be wrong, but and for the most part, communication was good at the line of scrimmage, personnel, and as I said, that was not one of them. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't know who should have been in or not. I have no idea. No idea right now.
You know yet, Rex and Kobe Holland, what they're doing is going to say, you know, you're back next year without the decision.
I wouldn't say months. And I know people rolling their eyes or will roll their eyes. You know, and in a situation like this, I really don't want to make a decision right now based solely on what's happened. Because I do know the year could not have gone any better aside from us not going to Miami. I really enjoy the guys, and I just wonder if I can hold up, you know, especially after a day like today, physically and mentally. That was pretty draining. So I don't, you know, I am going to go home a couple of days and just talk it over with the family. I'd love to win the Super Bowl, who wouldn't? But of course I can't print anything for you guys, but I know I'm going out on top one way or the other. I mean, I didn't feel like I had anything to prove coming in, but if there were doubters out there, maybe I served notice to them. But my goal was to get to Miami. And obviously that's not going to happen, but if it is, no doubt I'm on top.
Amen. One thing you got to know about Brett Favre is he's brutally honest. Everyone we've seen come to the podium so far, and I'm sure everybody else follows, is just spent. Spent from that.
Yeah, emotionally draining football game. But another thing that I appreciate about Brett Favre, he allows us to see him emotionally really bare, and that's what you're seeing. I mean, this is moments after you've made this great effort the entire season. You've come up short of your goal, and yet he's willing to stand there and be brutally honest with the media and anyone looking in, even as he said, his doubters about what this feels like. And I hope every fan out there, no matter who you root for, can appreciate what Brett is.
Well, he says he's going out on the top, even though he didn't.
Even if I don't win.
You know, I had a long interview with him, what we thought was maybe the end at Green Bay a couple of years ago. And we talked about all the records that he has. Most of them, you know, great. The touchdown passes, the yards, the completions, you go on and on. And I said, but Brett, you know, you have the interception record for football as well. And by the way, he has it in the playoffs now, too. And he had a smile on his face, Tom, and he said, well, I guess it means I was trying.
And there you are.
I mean,
I
know this one will sting, and it will sting Viking fans, et cetera.
Sure
but
it will.
What a game, what an effort, and they almost pulled it out despite all the turnovers. But instead, it's the Saints that are going on. And a man whose dad was the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, Peyton Manning. Would he be able to go to the Super Bowl to face that team? So the New Orleans Saints are in the Super Bowl, starting the year 13-0. You don't often see it. There's another team that started better. The Indianapolis Colts, who began 14-0. And 8 of the last 12 teams, who were the last team to lose a game in the regular season, went on to the Super Bowl. But here came the upstart of the playoffs, the New York Jets, with the rushing attack and with the defense that doesn't allow points, that doesn't allow yards. And a little history 41 years ago that had the biggest upset in the history of pro football. Jets 16, Colts 7. This wouldn't be as big an upset, but it certainly would shock the football world as well if they could pull it off. Here we go with the drum. AFC Championship game. Peyton Manning, Mark Sanchez, the veteran and the rookie. The MVP 4 times. Peyton. Wait a minute. David Harris, Jets. Don't you understand? He's the MVP. You can't. That Colts punt. Later in the first, again, Zach Harris. The Jets, obviously their credentials are real. Tom Moore, offensive coordinator to Peyton. We got to figure this out. 3-0 Colts. Second quarter. Mark Sanchez pump fakes. Braylon Edwards. Hey there! First play after the kickoff. 80 yards. The Jets take the lead.
Yeah, and if you take a look, the cornerback, Jacob Lacey, he's got his head back in the backfield, so he's looking at the quarterback. He sees the play fake. By the time he realizes that Braylon has run by him, it is too late. Touchdown, Jets.
Well, we mentioned it. Joe Namath threw it off into George Sauer. Matt Snell scored touchdown. Jim Turner kicked 3 field goals. Joe Willie and the Jets shocked the football world with Mark Sanchez holding the number 1 finger up. Do the same. Peyton Manning, Austin Collie. And he goes out of bounds inside the 5 on 3rd and 2. First and goal, Colts. 3 plays later, 3rd and goal. Manning trying to sneak it. No! That was an odd call.
Yeah, it was one of the few times it looks like the offense was a little bit rushed.
So 7-6, Jets maintain the lead. Colts field goal. Brad Smith lines up at quarterback. Jericho Cotchery, who had a big game, tackled inside the 15. We can break it down, Tom, but big plays, Jets.
Well, first of all, they do a great job of selling run. As you look at the offensive line, they're actually moving forward. Now you've got the safeties coming up. Smith does a great job of delivering the ball over the top, and a huge gain putting the Jets in scoring position.
So later on in the drive, Mark Sanchez, the kid, to Dustin Keller. All 3 playoff games, they've hooked up for touchdowns. Sanchez so good on the boot, we talked about it this morning, and he takes a hit, but delivers.
Right there, courage in the pocket. Knew he was going to take a lick, stepped in that throw, put it right between the numbers.
Boy, Rex Ryan wears that vest at 0 degrees and 80 degrees, 14-6, but now Joseph Adai hit by Calvin Pace, fumbled. Jim Leonard picks it up for the turnover. Colts, my goodness, the defense, Tom.
Well, you get this kind of penetration, Adai's like, I don't know whether I got the handoff or not, but it's on the ground.
Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Key to the game. Manning to Austin Collie, 46 yards. This play ended up turning the game on the double move.
Yeah, a little double move, fakes like he's going outside. What a great delivery of the football by Manning over the top.
Inside the 20, because the next play, Tom, Manning. It's not Wayne or Dallas Clark. It's Austin Collie. Touchdown. 3 touchdowns for the Colts in their 2 playoff games in the final 2 minutes of the half. But don't forget, the Jets still lead 17-13. Sean Green up the middle, grabs his chest. 3rd quarter, Green has been such a big player in the postseason. Rib injury, did not return, was a big injury.
Yeah, worst kind of injury for a running back, boom.
So Mark Sanchez, Braylon Edwards, incomplete. Rex Ryan on 3rd and 7. Let's bring in the field goal team, and this is the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. 52-yard field goal, Jay Feely, no good. You can debate it. Boy, you're giving Peyton Manning a short field, Tom. But the way his defense is playing, he figures, why not? But what happens? Revis lined up on the bottom of the screen. A pass to Garcon for 7 yards. Then again, Darrelle Revis covering Wayne. So they took away Wayne and Clark.
Go to Garcon.
That's right. Then Revis covering Wayne, Manning, Garcon. Inside the 5, 1st and goal, Colts. So this, remember, off the short field, off the missed field goal. Revis on Wayne, Manning, Garcon. Wow. Monsieur, l'addition, s'il vous plaît. It's a touchdown, 20-17, Colts.
Yeah, throw the ball where Revis is not. You see Garcon toward the back of the end zone. What a throw by Manning.
Showing Jets drive. Sanchez. Little handoff to Thomas Jones. He's the basher now. Sean Green out. Rex Ryan says, wait a minute now. My quarterback got nailed.
Yeah, Melvin Bullock coming in, and there's a little shot right there taken by Sanchez. Coach Ryan pretty upset to watch him take that hit.
And understandably so, Tom. Still 20-17. Manning, Reggie Wayne. It's a fumble, but somehow he gets the ball himself. It's a first down. Later in the drive, Manning to Dallas Clark. And a face mask penalty. Tacks on another 15. Now the Colts in business. So now Manning on 2nd and 6 to Clark. That's the slant you've seen. Touchdown. Eli up top. Rooting on his brother, a 7-play, 80-yard drive. Now the Colts in command by 10. They had a field goal 30-17. Doink! And it's Kelvin Hayden with the pick. You could not be more valiant. The young Jets, they played a wonderful game. But Pierre Garçon, family from Haiti, Haitian flag, Peyton Manning, Lamar Hunt Trophy, once again, a home win, sends them to Miami, as it did 3 years ago. Colts moving on for what they hope will be second Super Bowl, 4 years, same field. Colts 30, Jets 17.
It was kind of the game we expected. We expected a grind, a 60-minute grind, and that's kind of my word for the day, as you can tell. I'm trying not to say obviously. It's kind of been a habit of mine, so I'm saying grind. And that's the way it worked out today.
We knew we had to start off fast and get some points into the end zone. So, you know, they told me to get ready, get open, because he's going to go to me. Just had to make the catches.
We weren't out to prove anything. We weren't out, I mean, there's no, like I said before, no sense of vindication or retribution. All we're concerned about is trying to do the best job we can for our team, you know, plain and simple. And, you know, not everybody's going to agree with you all the time.
We're extremely proud. You know, obviously to see what those guys did the first 2 games, to come in here, obviously all the talk about them, they're going to run all over us, keep those guys under 100 yards is huge for us.
I'm really glad we have 2 weeks to get. I don't know how they've ever played this thing the week after the championship. We're a little mentally. I am at least. I'm mentally tired because of what we went through preparation-wise for these guys. So need some time tonight really to get over this one and get ready to prepare for who we're going to play next.
That's a tough team. You know, there's a lot of matchup issues that any team's going to have against them. You saw where that Garçon and Colley, you know, those 2 guys are, you know, doing a great job. And, you know, with Peyton Manning, it's, you know, if you can't disrupt his rhythm, he's going to kill you. And we couldn't disrupt it enough.
Mark Sanchez did great today. The offense overall did great. I mean, you can just see the potential in Mark Sanchez and how far he can take this team, you know, on the offensive side. And, you know, just today, I just think as a defense, we didn't step up to the plate.
It was a special feeling to get this far. You know, we came up a little short, but I'm definitely proud of our effort from every guy on the team, from the coaches included. You know, having faith in me all season long. Ups and downs, and making it to the AFC Championship game is something special.
It was special. The Jets led 17-6, but Peyton Manning from that point on, look at the right column, 18 of 29 for 239 with 3 touchdowns. In the end, he threw for 377, the 7th 300-yard game he's had in the postseason, breaking the old record of 6. So once again, Peyton Manning in the record books. Tom, this just in. He's good.
Yeah, throwing for almost 400 yards, and it didn't start until we really got to that 2-minute drill at the end of the first half. A perfect throw here to Austin Collie to put the Colts in a position where they might have a chance to score. But look at this throw. Look, just maybe 6 inches over the fingertips of the DB and dropped right in. Then the Jets safety here playing shallow. Manning pumps him. Again, throwing people open. Reggie Wayne on the outside, he goes down the middle again. Austin Collie, he finds everybody who's ever open. 3rd quarter, deep down into the red zone. Manning, Pierre Garçon, across the middle, down inside the 5. Next play, he's looking for that same blitz off the edge. He gets it right here, Garçon, and look at this throw and catch right there. I mean, you know, when you start talking about what he's able to do. And finally, he made the Jets switch. Now they're not playing the man-to-man. This is red zone. They're playing a zone, and Dwight Clark gets right into the middle of that zone. Ball delivered right on time for a touchdown.
Two other notes, Tommy. Colts defense held the number 1 rushing attack Jets to 84. They actually outrushed the Jets 101 to 84.
Well, that was the key to the football game, because when they were able to do that, they made them one-dimensional. Although that one dimension, Mark Sanchez grew up a little bit today, even in a losing effort. And just like Darrelle Revis said, he showed that he can play quarterback for this football team.
The Jets have a quarterback, the Jets have a ball club, and they lived up to everything that Coach Rex Ryan said. They brought it to the Colts and made the Colts, that team that was 14-0, work their darndest to advance to the Super Bowl. But advance they have. When we return, game balls, championship game action. Colts and the Saints in the Super Bowl. What do you know? A team that started 14-0 is going to play a team that started 13-0, the first time since 1993 that the number 1 seeds are playing each other in the big game.
Game ball, mine, Peyton Manning.
Game ball, mine, city of New Orleans.
Oh, there you go.
Right? I mean, and by the way, we're going to get enough to give everyone a game ball in New Orleans.
There you go.
Is it fun doing prime time?
Fun, bro.
Ready for the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Ready for the Super Bowl?
Ready for the Super Bowl and Pro Bowl.
Tom Jackson, Chris Berman, thanks for watching Prime Time.
ESPN America, your home for the NFL.
Well, the front of the sport.